Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while and I felt that one. I'm not on the highest mountain in the Lake District by any stretch, but it's been so long since I've been out and done any exercise. My fitness is terrible. I'm absolutely in a right state. So yeah, it's nice to be at the pits location, and it's nice that that shower has passed away just to the coast over there. It's just missed our location, which is good. It feels absolutely brilliant to be back outdoors. There's been so much stuff going on, been so busy. I've not had a chance to do anything. I'm absolutely craving a wild camp and just to escape outdoors. So the little ones are being minded, they're having some fun with the cousins and the family. And I've escaped to the mountains for a solo wild camp. It's the England game. I'm a little bit nervous about that. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to comment on our form or our performances. But I'm sure you'll all have your own opinions on that. I've got the MSR Access one, I've got a new pack. I've been recycling some of my gear over the previous months. I've got some new hiking / trail shoes on. I normally come up in boots, so that was a different experience and I'll speak about them later. But for now, I'm just going to enjoy the views for a bit, relax, just make sure that weather's passing away. Then we get the tent pitched. There's no one around, it's a really secluded spot. A little bit earlier than I'd normally pitch a tent, but we're completely out the way. We're not near any paths and it's not really intruding. So anyway, yeah, we'll relax for a bit and I'll bring you back. Well, I said we've missed that shower, and this is the only sort of downside to inner pitch first tents here in the UK. Obviously I'm filming, so I'm, you know, prolonging this situation. If I wasn't filming, I'd be even quicker to get the flyover. So it's what happens. The inner has got a waterproof coating. The only sort of areas of ingress are this mesh, so if you can protect that like so, and just when we get a sunny spell, what I'm going to do is I'll take the fly off and it'll dry out in no time. But you know, it's good to leave it in and just illustrate within a pitch first tent in our UK climate. This is one of the downsides. There's lots of positives too, and I will be doing a standalone review of this tent in due course. You cannot just get a tent, take it out of a bag and proclaim to know everything about it. There's just no credibility there whatsoever. So in due course I'll be reviewing this. I've had it for almost a year now in various conditions, but you know, it's just about passing over. So what I might do is I'll just clip this on, and you know, with the breeze it should be dry in no time. Oh, we're clagged in. I just quickly chuck the fly sheet over. I'm going to wait for these showers to pass away. Old beer towel, worth its weight in gold. Always take that, give it a bit of a rub down. A few drips in here is not too bad. That's all you need to do. So I'm going to sit this out, and then yeah, I will take the fly off, tweak it and let this dry. It's got a waterproof coating, so it beads off on the outside. It's just where it comes through the mesh, so you've got to be quick. And if you're not filming and you know how to use your tent, you know, you'll get it pitched in no time. And it's just one of those things with the inner pitch first tents. So just whip the fly off. It is actually level, it's just a bit of wind, just making it look distorted. But yeah, I'll give it 10 minutes. And you might think that you couldn't be bothered, and if you can't be bothered to do this, I didn't have to. I could have just left it. As you can see, it's beading on here, and it just bounces off. So yeah, I'll give it 10 minutes. We've got a bit of a spell, so don't forget, on those dry summer nights, if we get them, you can sleep in this without the fly. It was nice and airy. So the Access, well, it's marketed as a 4-season tent. So in terms of ventilation on this model, they've improved it from previous versions of the Access. And there's now some vents at the head and foot end on the fly sheet with little standouts as well, just to aid with airflow. But it's predominantly designed for colder conditions, and it's not really a summer tent, but I've taken it because I don't mind it. It's pretty mild today with the weather, and it's very light, easy to pitch, and it's nice and compact. You know, if you keep the poles separate down the side of your pack. So for me, it's absolutely ideal for little camps like this, sort of alpine style, just up, pitch the tent and back down. You know, when there's not a big long trek involved. So yeah, I'll give it another 10 minutes or so. We get the fly on for good, make sure we're happy with it, get it nice and equal, and then it won't be long before we put the game on. So it's a big mat, and it's a very compact one-person tent. You've still got room to spare at the ends for storing your gear. It's absolutely perfect, the size. You know, it's almost a rectangular footprint. And the headroom in this tent is fantastic. I've said it before, the first time I got this tent and I put the footprint out, I thought this is going to be absolutely tiny. And I got inside, and because of the height and the vertical walls, it's really deceptive when you look at it. You don't expect it to be this big. So it's very, very livable. No issues with leaks. I've never seam sealed it. It's got lap-felled seams. They do include a tube of seam sealant just in case. But yeah, these showers, they just don't want to stop. It's you know, it's warm when there's a spell of sunshine, but these showers just keep drifting over, wetting the tent, dries out, another shower comes, and so on. But yeah, the mat's out now. I don't need to get the quilt out. It's nice and warm. I'm gonna find Radio 5 and make sure that I've got reception so they can listen to the game. And yeah, just finished making it like home. I'm nice and relaxed now. There's absolutely nothing better, just being in your tent, you're home from home, listening to the sound of the rain and relaxing. Oh, get in, Trent. Oh, that was absolutely nerve-wracking. Get in! Yes! Trent. Yeah, Pickford made one save. Probably people were watching it, but yeah, that was a tense time. I was too tense to make tea. So I'm gonna calm down a little bit. There's probably like screams heard across the Lake District, but yeah, wow. Tense game as always. Listening to England, it's never easy, is it? But yeah, prolonging the agony even more. So absolutely fantastic. That was yeah, definitely a tense game. You know, and you just up the ante, don't you, as we progress through the tournament. So a bit of a celebratory tank petrol IPA. Cheers, as always, to the great outdoors. We've got our dehydrated meal rehydrating in there. Pasta bolognese, stick with what I like, play it safe. Cheers, everyone. Well, yeah, I wanted to keep this camp relatively straightforward, and I've packed everything into a nice 35-litre pack. Fjallraven Abisko Hike 35. I've got the old version of that, many years old. He'd made some tweaks, and I keep saying it, I'm going to make some review content just to fill the channel out, because I get very, very little time to myself. So, you know, that's why there's not as many videos at the moment. I just do not get the time anymore. So it's great. I mean, you enjoy it maybe a little bit more when you come out, which is always good. Makes you appreciate it a bit more. But I have got some reviews. Get that grass out of the way. But I've got some reviews in the making. So there'll be that bag, there'll be this tent. I've also got a Nortent Verm 1, which they've kindly sent to me. So, you know, I'm not pretending that, you know, I bought it. I haven't. It's been sent by Nortent, but I've been very sort of open with the guy that's in charge of that to say, look, I want to compare it with the Solo. I'm a long-term user of the Hilleberg Solo in various weather conditions, and I've owned it for many, many years in both the red label and the black label variant. So I'm going to give a real honest comparison, not an out-of-the-box comparison. That's just disingenuous, and there's no credibility to that whatsoever. So I won't be holding any punches back. I'm not going into the details about how certain people have maybe set Nortent up for a fall. I don't know why they did that, but you know, it's a can of worms, and I can't be bothered going there again. I said my piece, and I stand by everything I said. So yeah, I'll be testing them out, looking at this tent, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm waiting on a green fly sheet. I think this colour's great in the snow in winter, but for summer maybe something a little bit more stealthy. I'm waiting on the green coloured fly to come for it, so that'll be absolutely fantastic. And it's been a really nice camp so far. Like I say, that the mat fits in really well. We haven't got loads of stuff on this one. Real simple stove, Pocket Rocket 2 by MSR, the standard Titan kettle, some MSR cookware, very much MSR theme this camp, but that Titan kettle, I've had that for absolutely donkeys, and it's brilliant. Everything you need fits in it. The stove fits in it, little cloth, and you know, all holds together with an elastic band, just stops the lid falling off, and I think it's a good little setup. It works very well for me. So yeah, this will be ready in a minute. I'm gonna enjoy this, looking out across Lake Windermere. Thankfully the rain has kept at bay, so that's always good, and we're in for a nice evening. Hopefully some clear skies, and the weather looks okay for tomorrow as well. So really going to enjoy this, feeling buoyed by the England result, very happy and positive, and I'm going to soak up every last minute of this camp. I'm not sure when I'm going to be out on my next one, so really making the most of this one. Just had a little bit of a stroll, just taking in the scenery. Yeah, looking across to Yorkshire. It's a famous peak there. You see Ingleborough, very distinctive shape, and Pen y Ghent as well. Looking out south and out to Morecambe Bay. Very peaceful up here. I've not seen anyone else. Weather-wise, yeah. Other than the temperature and the wind, it's I think it feels like 0. It's pretty cold. Definitely not like July. Absolutely shocking weather-wise, isn't it? So there's no worrying about the sun today. But nice and peaceful. Yeah, a bit subdued just because the sun's not out and the colours aren't as vivid as they usually are at this time. I think the only vivid thing is my flight sheet there. But yeah, fantastic little tent. Very, very clever use of space. I like the changes they've made. I had a friend who had the original version of the Access, and they've taken into account some user feedback, and they've made some very sort of clever changes, very usable, and it, like I say, it makes real good use of a very small footprint, and you've got a nice generous porch area, vestibule, whatever you want to call it, which will easily take your rucksack, and you can cook in bad weather. But for me, the main thing is the height. 6 foot, those of you that watch the channel know that, but just to have that ability to sit up, it's totally transforms if you hold up in your tent, or you like being in your tent for extended periods of time. I've got a lot of smaller tents as well, so it's a totally different experience when you can't sit up. For example, Fjallraven Abisko Light 1, great tent, real small pack size, lightweight, get it up, you know, it's 4-season, very robust, really well made, but you've got your head stooped in there, and I'm touching the roof of the inner on that one. Terra Nova Laser Compact AS, they've tweaked it with the new model, so I just about get away with that one. But it just depends. Some people don't mind the lack of headroom. Others, it's a key factor in decision making when you're looking at tents. I've got loads of tents. It's a ridiculous amount of tents, but I enjoy it. That's my hobby, and I like experiencing different tents and trying different bits of outdoor gear. That's all part of it for me. They've all got a purpose, and it keeps the content fresh. So again, just thanks very much for people's patience. There was a time when I was making 2 videos a week, sometimes more, but that was a bad period in my life. So there was a reason for that. It wasn't normal. It wasn't the status quo. And the channel and the community helped me through a bad phase. I've got my hands full now, thankfully. I've got 1 child with me all the time, and 1 with me almost half the time. So yeah, my time to go camping on my own is very much limited, but camping is number 2 in the grand scheme of things. And I'm sure as they get older and they do more things with their mates, they probably won't want to come camping as much, but you never know, they might still. They might be doing it with their mates, hopefully one day, certainly Tom. So yeah, that'll be good to see. A little bit of light, looking towards Thornthwaite Crag, yeah, and then looking to High Street, where I was with my friends. Seems like an age away now, but those of you who haven't seen that video, I'll link it above now, but I think I'm going to go back inside the tent, just warm up a little bit, and just relax. I'll speak to you probably before saying good night. The weather's not going to do anything drastic, and fingers crossed it's going to improve slightly tomorrow as well. So yeah, we'll get in, out that wind. It's got a fair amount of chill to it.
What do we do when we face obstacles in the fulfillment of our righteous responsibilities? We reach out and climb. Handholds will only be found by hands that are outstretched. Footholds are only for feet that are on the move. The blessings that solve problems and carry us over obstacles come to persons who are on the move. My dear brothers and sisters, I ask you today to ask yourself just one question. Is your life on the move? And if not, why not? Whether you find yourself shuffling or skipping up the covenant pathway, it really doesn't matter. Being in gear does. And as you face the hard and uphill road ahead, please remember that you are not alone. We all face different yet similar trials. As a reminder, periodically, please remember when you look up at Y Mountain, ask yourself the question, why mountains? My prayer is that you'll remember that they are there not to befuddle us, but to bless us.
Well, the all-important leave no trace, and that's the end of another wild camp in the Lake District National Park. I'm not sure how much filming I did on this one. Felt like it didn't do much, certainly in comparison to my last one, but sometimes you just need to go at a bit of a slower pace. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any questions about the kit or the gear reviews, let me know in the comments. I'll reply to every single constructive comment. Give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Absolutely free, helps me out. I know it's a cliche and everyone says it, but it does. So if you do like the channel, that's the best way to support it in my view. Get out there yourself, leave no trace, enjoy it, get the younger generation out there. No matter what the weather, I'm actually looking forward to some bad weather camps now. I've given up on summer, so bring on the autumn storms and winter storms, and let's get out, test the gear properly and see what nature can do. So I'll see you on the next one. Thank you again for watching and take care.